CNN reports Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has had both an initial and follow-up running mate vetting interview with Vice President Kamala Harris's aides, according to a person familiar with the process. Both interviews were conducted virtually, with the second having taken place this past Wednesday. He's also submitted thousands of pages of documents along with other prospects who have so far received more attention. Pritzker and his team are keeping their lips sealed.